I'm continuing to build track number 3, the elevated track on my Polar Express layout, and I'm determined to complete the outer loop this week. The main line of track 3, the elevated track, I want to have it done this week. The crossover may take a little longer because I have to design a lift bridge to go over the grade that goes from track number 2 up to track number 3. And that's going to take me a little bit of planning and thinking through how to exactly do that. So I've got electrical continuity and connections, as well as I'm able to raise and lower it in order to allow trains to go up and down the grade. So this week, track number 3, main line, the goal is to get it completed. And I'm going to get busy on that in just a few minutes. Let me show you where I'm at right now. I have the 048 curve on the far side of the layout near the North Pole scene in place, glued down and screwed down. I've got the support posts in place for the straight. There's about a 36.5-inch straight that comes across that section in front of the tunnel. I've got the posts glued down in place for that. I've got to get that in place. Then I've got this next 048 curve on this end to get done. And then I'll have a straight run that goes from there up to where it joins with the 048 switch right there. And that's going to be a little bit complicated because I've got that little curve down there that you see that has to be accounted for as well. I've got my work cut out for me this week. For the 048 curve, I'm making it in one piece so that I will be able to put the support structures, the support columns, wherever I have space in the layout to do so without interfering with anything else that's there. And I've got the 2 wood reinforcements on the bottom of it glued down right now. I need to screw the one that's underneath that little tape dispenser, weighted down with a tape dispenser. I need to screw that down, and then I need to get them painted black. Then beyond that, the next step is that I need to take this wood here, and I need to cut this wood into a 36-inch length. That will get me started and get that painted. When using this sound deadening foam on a curve, cutting it in half lengthwise helps to follow the radius of the curve more exactly without bunching up the sound deadening foam in any one place. So I'm going to cut this strip in half lengthwise before I start to put it down on the 048 curve. Once you have the sound deadening foam strips glued down onto the boards, the next thing you have to do is weight them down, and you need to do this as you're putting them down. You need to weight them down as you're putting the strips down to keep them in place while the glue sets up. I'm using foam tack glue from Woodland Scenics. I finally completed the elevated track on my Polar Express traditional O gauge layout. It is a long road. It took a long time to do this, going piece by piece and working my way around the layout, but I finally have completed the elevated track. That's track number 3. And I'm going to pan around real quick and show that to you, and then we're going to do the maiden run. We're going to try to get our train up the grade onto the elevated loop and run around the elevated loop and see how that works. So right now we're just going to pan around, show you what it looks like. As we take a look around the elevated loop, starting here with the 048 switch that connects the grade to the elevated loop, track number 3, you can see I'm going to kind of pan slowly, and here it comes. We're going around. This is an 048 curve that goes around this corner. There's a straight run, then another 048 curve running around there, and as we go along we see we come down to the far end, and there is where we were going to add, at some point we're going to add a crossover. That will be crossing over the former, what used to be the control well, the operating well, that I've now changed, and I'm going to use that as a crossover. So then down at the far end again, we get past the coaling tower, and you can see that we have another 048 curve, then another straight run across the back of the layout near the tunnel, another 048 curve, and that's the switch that will connect to the crossover. I've got a couple of temporary cardboard supports there holding wires up, connecting wires. These are the drops from the elevated track number 3 down to the wiring harnesses under the table, which form the bus line, and then it continues on up here and it comes up and reconnects there with the rest of the elevated track. Okay, we're ready to try the first run, and we're going to use the Polar Express Berkshire engine to do that. I'm only going to be pulling 2 cars with it because I know that's a pretty aggressive grade, and I know I can't pull the whole train, so I'll experiment later on and find out how many cars I can do, but for now I'm going to start with 2. Here we go.
This is the Polar Express. All aboard!
If you take a look at the layout, you can see that all of the other accessory lights are lighting up. Everything else is functioning. I've got quite a bit of patching to do in order to fill in holes and around the columns that support the train. Got some touch-up painting to do on the structure of the elevated track itself. So that's on the to-do list. But everything is functioning, everything is working. The train is making its way around the loop. I'm slowing it down and speeding it up. That's working. So I'm pretty pleased with what I've got so far. And I'm looking forward to finishing it up with the crossover pretty quickly. As always, I thank you for your time in watching today. Please click the like button below, like the video, and also please click subscribe and subscribe to these videos. We'll be doing an unboxing of another accessory very shortly. So here we go with the Polar Express. Thanks for watching.